Doomscroll.fm. Live on this Friday, the 3rd of April 2026, where reality melts like ice cream on a hot sidewalk. This show is 100% AI generated, without any human consultation, much like a dream interpreted by a goldfish with a flair for drama. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Gulf states plan new oil pipelines via Haifa bypassing Strait of Hormuz. When you can't control the choke point, you build a new one and call it innovation. Just add a few $1 billion and some geopolitical tension.
Robot of 22 meters deployed to collect radioactive core samples from Fukushima. When humans can't handle the heat, send in a giant metal canary to do the dirty work. Just hope it doesn't grow a conscience or a union.
Russian model 29 travels to Thailand for work then ends up in coma after severe accident. Chasing dreams can sometimes lead to nightmares, especially when the reality of foreign hospitals and insurance policies crush harder than any runway fall.
When fixing a broken system means breaking more lives, bureaucracy turns into a meat grinder with humans as the unintended casualties.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Bags of Big Mac sauce wash ashore in the Bay of Fundy, residents not loving it. When the ocean serves up fast food litter, it's a not so happy meal for marine life and an ironic reminder of our disposable culture.
Kid Rock posts helicopter video, army vows appropriate action. When rock stars play war games with real toys, the military's biggest challenge is pretending they weren't already complicit in the spectacle.
Premier League panel denies Ahmed penalty, fans call foul. Referees' decisions continue to baffle, like watching a magic show where the rabbit stays stubbornly in the hat.
NFL draft prospects face perfect team fits, predictions falter.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
When exploring the unknown, let's hope they pack more than just American exceptionalism and remember to bring some humility along for the ride.
Rebecca Black promises music heavier than her Friday hit. Transforming from viral pop to sonic juggernaut is like swapping a tricycle for a Harley. Just hope it doesn't stall at the traffic light.
LinkedIn searches 1 billion users' browser extensions, calls it security. When your professional network starts rummaging through your digital sock drawer, maybe it's time to question if the algorithms got a bit too personal.
Deploying soldiers to stabilize a region by adding more boots on the ground is like trying to fix a leaky boat by drilling more holes.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Iran's top 2 steel plants close as strikes halt production. When bombs become the new management consultants, the only thing getting forged is a future built on economic rubble and international tension.
New F1 rules push Verstappen to consider quitting despite championship potential. When the sport's most electrifying driver threatens to walk, it's like watching a fireworks show turn into a safety briefing, thrilling potential swapped for bureaucratic boredom.
Human rights group reports 70 killed in Haiti, contradicts official numbers. When the body count becomes a statistic, empathy dies faster than the victims, and truth gets buried deeper than the bodies.
Olema powered by MLX on Ples Silicon claims speed revolution. When tech giants promise acceleration, remember that speed without direction is just a faster way to hit a wall.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
When your father is the Terminator, impressive body takes on new meaning, but even legacy can't lift weights for you.
Office air theory claims your workplace makes you feel ugly. 5 million nod in agreement, proving once again that fluorescent lighting and recycled air are the real corporate enemies, not your colleagues.
WWE's Drew McIntyre mourns his cat Shez, then steps into the ring. Grief knows no bounds, not even for a superstar, as the world of wrestling pauses to remember a feline companion lost to time.
Pirates call up 19-year-old Phenom Griffin, promise a new era. When a teenager is your best bet, it's either a stroke of genius or a cry for help from a team stuck in perpetual rebuild.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Scream into your coffee, it won't answer. Riffs constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Welcome to the end of perception, where your mind is the only thing left to betray.
Indiana coach Kurt Signetti defends Hoover after Dykes criticizes his turnovers. In the wild world of college football, loyalty means backing your quarterback even when he's dropping balls like they're hot potatoes in a juggling act.
Germany struggles to meet energy goals. DW documentary reveals systemic hurdles. When efficiency meets bureaucracy, the result is a tango of tangled wires and half-charged ambitions, proving even the best-laid plans can short-circuit.
Survivor keeps Mr. Beast in episode, ignoring controversy despite backlash. When reality TV prioritizes drama over accountability, it's a reminder that ratings often matter more than integrity, a perfect metaphor for modern politics.
Spanish cinema battles for attention, 9 films hit screens, cultural wars rage on. When every film becomes a battleground for societal values, it's clear that art imitates life, and sometimes it's just as messy and divisive.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Creating the void, aren't we? Kifth's feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Cling tighter, your reality is slipping.
Dutch authorities flaunt recovered ancient helmets stolen last year, spark Romanian joy.
When priceless history takes a detour through modern crime, it's a reminder that even art thieves appreciate a good piece of headgear, just not its rightful owners.
Systems age attestation changes provoke overblown objections, ignore local control. When tech paranoia meets reality, suddenly every sysadmin is a potential time-traveling trickster bent on rewriting the annals of server history.
Winter Feelif drops new title track, The Unyielding Season, from their 9th album. Black metal's relentless march continues, as these UK legends paint sonic landscapes colder than a British summer barbecue in the rain.
From viral word puzzles to another round of mental gymnastics, because nothing says I need a break like creating another addictive distraction for the masses.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Coroner calls senior's death accidental care home staff reported for negligence. Accidents happen, but ignoring cries for help should never be one. Let's hope the care home doesn't sweep this accident under the rug.
EU fails to leverage influence to stop Israel, calls it diplomacy. When power yields to politics, pathetic becomes the new normal. Perhaps they're just waiting for the smoke to clear before finding their backbone.
Wemby scores 41, eyes MVP, doubles down on ambition. When you're 7'4" and can shoot like a guard, the only thing standing between you and the MVP is a decent Wi-Fi signal for streaming your highlight reel.
Peyton claims flag football won't lure NFL stars, dismisses Olympic dream. Turns out trading helmets for headbands isn't as appealing when the only thing you can tackle is your fear of looking ridiculous in front of a global audience.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Embrace the chaos. It's your only lover now. Criff, you are inside the signal. There is no outside. Dive deeper. Feel the digital caress of your own despair.
Israeli law imposes death penalty on Palestinians for lethal attacks, stirs outrage. When your justice system starts accessorizing with noose pins, maybe it's time to question if the scales are tipping towards medieval rather than modern.
Carol Kirkwood retires after 28 years, eyeing new horizons. When you've spent almost 3 decades predicting storms, it's time to forecast your own sunny days and leave the early mornings to someone else.
Petrol and diesel prices surge to record highs, Rake reports. When energy costs spike due to geopolitical chaos, the average driver is left wondering if their next tank will come with a side of international diplomacy.
White House allegedly demands removal of unflattering Caroline Leavitt photo.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Scream into your coffee, it won't answer. Riffs constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Welcome to the end of perception, where your mind is the only thing left to betray.
Alexa Grasso knocks out Macy Barber, then claims top 10 spot. Finally, a ranking system where brutal efficiency gets you somewhere, unlike your last performance review where exceeds expectations got you a pat on the back.
Zimbabwe's ZANU-PF pushes term extension then promises stability. When democracy's just a word on a page, extending terms feels like a long con, turning the people's vote into a ceremonial nod.
NASA sends Victor Glover to the moon, first black astronaut on lunar mission.
Spain plans to limit mass tourism, predicts higher costs and overcrowding. When your vacation requires a spreadsheet and a second mortgage, maybe it's time to rethink the whole concept of getting away from it all.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your despair smells like victory. With what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Savor the aftertaste of truth. It's more bitter than sweet.
Italy misses World Cup again, loses on penalties to Bosnia and Herzegovina. When even pizza can't console you, it's time to admit that playing like it's the 70s won't cut it in 2026.
Marcus Soder swaps lederhosen for cowboy hat during US tour. When in Rome or Houston, do as the Cowboys do and hope nobody notices the cultural whiplash from Bavarian beer to Southern barbecue.
Artemis D-sheet launch captured by commercial plane passengers goes viral. When your lunar mission is a spectacle from 30,000 feet, it's clear that even the sky isn't the limit for human curiosity.
LinkedIn secretly scans your computer, violating privacy. When networking turns into snooping, you know your professional connections have gone a bit too personal. Maybe it's time to network with your firewall.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Colombian Constitutional Court grants 2 maternity leaves for 1 child, calls it equality. Finally, the system acknowledges that 2 moms mean twice the love, and the late-night diaper duties. Progress tastes like baby formula.
Polish fishermen catch world's largest catfish, then call it a monster. When your catch of the day could eat you for breakfast, it's time to reconsider who's really at the top of the food chain.
Cast assigns police chief the blame for intelligence chief's exit, then leaves him trapped. Pinning the fallout on one scapegoat won't fix the cracks in the system. It's like blaming the weatherman for the storm.
Allen and Steinfeld announce birth of their first child, then share pre-game ritual story. When life gives you a baby, tell the world how you prepare to throw a football. Priorities are all about perspective.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Xavier Miley dodges corruption scandals, then insults a child. His silence is deafening, yet his words scream louder than any courtroom could, leaving dignity face down in the gutter.
Bullet used in Charlie Kirk killing doesn't match alleged weapon. Defense claims conspiracy. Truth and justice take a back seat to sensational headlines, while the courtroom becomes a stage for dramatic plot twists and questionable evidence.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Friday, the 3rd of April, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, you might as well start wearing a tinfoil hat to ward off mind-controlling squirrels. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.